Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to be doing part 3 for What If Naruto was Tanjiro's reincarnation. Now I don't want to waste your time too much. Make sure to like and subscribe and let's get right into it. So last time we left off, Naruto and the rest of Team 7 were just getting ready for the bell test. And remember, this team is not Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto, it's Naruto, Nezuko, and Sasuke. And if you don't understand what I mean, please do make sure to watch the other parts. They were insane, because, if you didn't watch the other parts, why are you here? And yeah, let's get right into it. So, they just came to the training area, and Kakashi, as you might have guessed, was nowhere to be seen. Now, after a while, too much waiting, Kakashi finally arrived, giving a excuse just like usual. And after, the Team 7 was like, okay, just come on, what are we doing? Kakashi decided to explain the bell test. Now, he said that he has 2 bells that will be strapped to his waist by these strings, and Team 7's goal is to get the bells. Now, the people who get the bells will be passing, and the person who doesn't get a bell will fail. If nobody gets a bell, well, they're all getting sent back to the academy. And suddenly, Sakura's like, wait, but if only 2 people can pass, that means 1 person has to get eliminated. And Kakashi's like, well, yeah, that's true. And Sakura was just like, oh, wow, this is much more serious than I thought. Anyways, Kakashi's like, okay, begin. And everyone goes into hiding, including Tanjiro. Oh god, I am so dumb. Sakura's not on this team. Oh my, I am so sorry, guys. So Sakura's not on this team, so she doesn't say that. She doesn't say, but only 1 person gets a pass. All of that was said by Nezuko instead of Sakura. God. Okay, from now on, if I ever say Sakura, know that I mean Nezuko. I am so sorry, but this is just confusing my brain. Anyways, everybody goes into hiding. Nezuko and Naruto, not Tanjiro, decide to hide together, and Sasuke hides by himself. Now, Naruto and Nezuko form a plan. So, basically, what the plan is they're gonna try and work together and at least get some information on Kakashi's fighting style and abilities and skills without showing any of their own abilities, and then try to use this information to get the upper hand on Kakashi and try to pull a trick that will be able to get the bells. Now, they realize that if they really want this to work, they're gonna have to get this is not gonna be easy, but maybe it will work. Now, immediately, both of them jump out of the bush. Nezuko coming from behind Kakashi, and Naruto coming from in front of Kakashi, trying to face him head on. Now, Kakashi's like, I noticed these 2 gave off a different feeling than the others. And he was right, because Kakashi at this point can kind of tell that Naruto and Nezuko are a lot stronger than most of the people here. And as Naruto rushes in, Kakashi just stops reading his book, completely, because he realizes that he's gonna have to work pretty hard to be able to beat them. And with that, Naruto immediately goes in for a punch, with Kakashi blocking and then trying to go to the side and attack Naruto. But this failed because Nezuko was already ready, and she just kicked Kakashi, kind of like the way, I don't know if you watched Demon Slayer, but kind of like the way Nezuko kicked those, what was it called? Those like ball things that the Tamari demon, I'm pretty sure those are called Tamaris, which is why it's the Tamari demon. But yeah, basically, you know how she does kick that. So she just kicks Kakashi with that insane force, sending the unsuspecting Kakashi flying into the tree. And Kakashi is instantly shocked at the teamwork and skill that this team has. I mean, with Naruto and Nezuko, the way they work together, it's almost like they can read each other's minds. It's just very interesting. They have this special teamwork that it's almost like when they work together, they're stronger. And Kakashi just keeps this in mind as he looks at Naruto and Nezuko rushing at him. And Nezuko kind of just keeps rushing forward, while Naruto almost takes a more passive approach for the time being. And as Nezuko charges in with full strength, Kakashi is, after a little bit of taijutsu fighting, able to outwit and outsmart her, just hitting her into the ground. But Naruto, having already expected this even, was like ready, standing there, almost just waiting for the right moment, waiting for this moment to happen. And the instant it happened, Naruto was ready, as he just came in and used his own taijutsu skill to try and defeat Kakashi. And he was doing well for a while, but after Kakashi released his fireball jutsu and then started using his mud wall to protect himself, they didn't stand much of a chance. And that is when Nezuko and Tanjiro decided that was enough, and they could just go and form a plan for the time being. And yeah, they just went back into the bushes and were like, okay, now how are we gonna steal the bells? Now, after Naruto and Nezuko went away for a while, Kakashi let his guard down and decided that they were off planning and they'd be back pretty soon, but for now, he could continue reading his book. He still hadn't seen Sasuke, so he was confident that he knew Naruto and Nezuko's abilities pretty well, but he didn't really know Sasuke's abilities too well, although he suspected that he wouldn't really have to know, and plus he already kind of knew how Uchihas were, so he decided that, it probably doesn't matter too much. And he was mostly right, but not too much, because he did not expect what was coming. Now, meanwhile, Naruto and Nezuko went around trying to find Sasuke, and Naruto, using his incredible sense of smell, was able to pinpoint his location, and both of them went to him. And after describing their plan to him, after some negotiations and Sasuke explaining that just because he's joining in with this plan doesn't mean that he's depending on them and he's still gonna pass, and he says all of that stuff, but eventually just agrees to help them. And with that, all three of them get into their positions and get ready to attack. Now, Sasuke goes in first, with him literally just running in out of nowhere and just coming in and starting a heated taijutsu battle with Kakashi. Now, the first thing Sasuke tried to do was throw a kunai to slash the rope that is holding the two bells that Kakashi has, but that didn't really work out. And then they just started fighting using taijutsu and everything, but eventually Kakashi started pulling out on top, and Kakashi couldn't sense Naruto and Nezuko nearby, so he just decided that Sasuke had come alone. After all, that's really mostly what he expected. But then, as Sasuke was about to start weaving hand signs, he sensed it. Naruto and Nezuko were here, and so Sasuke started weaving hand signs for a fireball jutsu, while Naruto came from behind with his sword in his hand, and Nezuko also came out of the trees, but looked different. Almost, Nezuko looked a lot less human and almost a bit demonish, and she had a different aura about her, but Kakashi couldn't quite put a finger on it and didn't have time to investigate deeper at the moment, as he was trying to deal with Sasuke's fireball jutsu at the moment. But as Naruto and Nezuko came from behind, Sasuke released his fireball jutsu, and Kakashi just put his palm into the ground, creating a mud wall. But the only weakness of the mud wall is the fact that it can't cover all 360 degrees surrounding the person that casted the jutsu, so it would only cover Kakashi from the front. And although the mud wall blocked the fireball, Nezuko was already coming in with a new incredible strength and speed, as she just ran in and punched Kakashi, but Kakashi was able to dodge, and Kakashi just leaped back and went onto one of the trees and said, "Oh, that was close. You almost got me there." And Naruto is like, "Yeah, we almost did, but we weren't trying to," as he held up the two bells. And Kakashi was like, "Wait a second, the bells?" And Naruto passed the other bell to Nezuko because, he cares more about Nezuko passing than Sasuke passing. And so he just gave the bell to Nezuko and was like, "Yeah, while you were distracted with Nezuko and Sasuke, I was able to come in and dash through, slicing the rope with my sword, and with that, I was able to get the bells without you even noticing." And Kakashi's like, "Wow, that's impressive. I didn't have my Sharingan active, but to be able to get the bells for me without me noticing, amazing." But they didn't end up using their teamwork, so they pass. And Kakashi announced to the team that they all passed, and with that, Team 7 had become an official team. Now, everyone was really happy, and for the next week or two, all Team 7 did was just doing low-rank missions, like, doing groceries for villagers, helping old ladies cross the road, finding missing cats, that sort of boring stuff. And because the stuff was so boring, Team 7 got bored of it because it was way too easy for them, and they were far above that skill level. Anyways, the next time Hiruzen was going to give them a mission, Team 7 demanded a harder mission because, seriously, this was way too easy. And Hiruzen, knowing that Naruto, Nezuko, Sasuke, and Kakashi were all powerful and capable ninja, decided to let them go on a C-rank escort mission to escort a bridge builder named Tazna. And although this wasn't exactly what they were hoping for, at least they got to leave the village, so they were quite happy. The next day, everybody met up at the gate, and that's where they met Tazna. Now, Tazna, the first impression of Tazna that they get is a lot better in this, because they don't see Tazna, the drunk guy, who insults them, but this is a completely sober Tazna who just sees Team 7 and is like, in his head he's like, "Oh, these are the kids who are supposed to escort me. I mean, I don't know, but I guess, I mean, this is what I paid for, so I guess this is what I get. And, yeah. Anyways, with that, Team 7 left the village, heading off to the Mist Village. But anyways, along the way, this was a tiring trip, and they had to walk all the way from the land of, the Hidden Leaf Village all the way to the Land of Waves, which did take a long time, and it was very hot, and it hadn't rained in days, so Team 7 was really exhausted. And that is why when Naruto saw a puddle of water, just walked by a puddle of water, he was extremely suspicious. I mean, what would a puddle of water be doing all the way out here and when it hasn't rained in weeks almost? And so he just kept that in mind, looking at Kakashi, who, for as much as Naruto could tell, had also noticed. And this is why when the Demon Brothers leapt out, Naruto instantly was able to cut off the arm of the person with the poisoned blade. Not blade, but that guy, the demon brother that has a poisonous claw. Yeah, so Naruto, the instant the brother came out, he was able to slice off the arm with the poisonous claw on it. And when it comes to Sasuke, he was able to grab the chain guy by his chain and just do whatever he did in the original. And Kakashi came and was really impressed. He was like, "Oh wow, you dealt with them pretty quickly. I thought I was gonna have to help." But he's like, "Okay, well, that was a lot easier than I expected." But Kakashi was also thinking, but why would the Demon Brothers be after us? I mean, this is just an escort mission. We're not supposed to. This isn't a protect someone who's being assassinated mission. This is an escort mission. This isn't supposed to be happening. But he just kept that to himself for now, as they just kept going forward. And as they went on their way, a huge, thick mist started rolling in. Now, this confused everyone, although Tazna assured that, this is the Land of Waves in the Hidden Mist Village. What do you expect? This is literally the Mist Village, so there's gonna be mist. But Kakashi was like, okay, there can be mist, but this sort of fog, this, you can't see anything. This is just unreasonably foggy. And then he sensed it as he yelled, "Duck!" And as Team 7 ducked, a huge blade flew over their heads and landed on a tree. Now, the instant Team 7 saw the blade land in a tree, a man just jumped on the blade, who is apparently the person who threw it. And this was none other than Zabuza. And he did his whole thing where he was like, "I am Zabuza, demon of the mist. You must be Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja." And so he did his whole introduction and speech, and Kakashi also did his. And they did that whole thing, and Zabuza was just like, "I'm here to kill the bridge builder." And Kakashi was just like, "Yeah, well, and we're here to protect him." And Zabuza was just like, "Yeah, I kind of expected that." And so he was like, "Well, I'll have to kill you to get to him, won't I?" And Kakashi replied yes, as Zabuza charged in. And Kakashi and Zabuza started having an intense battle, but eventually Kakashi was caught inside of Zabuza's water prison jutsu and was just stuck. He couldn't really do anything, and he was basically drowning in the water prison jutsu, and he just looked out to Team 7 and said, run with your lives while you still can." And Sasuke, Naruto, and Nezuko just stood there and were like, "No, we're not abandoning you here," as Nezuko looked at Naruto and they both nodded, because this place was a water-covered area, which probably was to Zabuza's advantage. But if you know anything about Demon Slayer, it was also probably to Naruto's advantage, because he has water breathing. Now, Naruto went up to Zabuza, and he was walking, then it was a light jog, and then he started full sprinting. And as he slowly started going onto the water, he said, first form, water surface slash. Dang, I almost got that wrong. First form of water breathing, water surface slash. That's like a tongue twister, but except for my stuttering, a blue watery aura started covering Naruto's blade as his speed suddenly increased tremendously, and he just dashed at Zabuza and sliced with his blade. But Zabuza had dodged, having been able to just mostly sidestep and barely get away unharmed. But at the same time, at the cost of being able to dodge Naruto's attack, he had also left the water prison, and Kakashi was now free. But Naruto wasn't ready to leave this entire fight up to Kakashi yet. And so immediately Naruto went back to Zabuza, and Zabuza created a bunch of water clones, and he created maybe 10 water clones to start attacking Naruto, realizing that Naruto was probably going to be a powerful threat that he would have to eliminate quickly if he wanted to stay alive. But Naruto had other plans. As he said, third form, flowing dance. And I don't know how to describe flowing dance. It's fittingly called the flowing dance, and it's basically just a smooth thing where he just went everywhere from one clone to the other, doing zigzag motions, and just sliced every single one of their heads off in not less than a second, but less than 3 seconds. And this utterly impressed Zabuza. And although Naruto hadn't completely cut off the heads of all of them, since they were water clones, they did get destroyed easily. So, Naruto was able to destroy all of them. And Zabuza pulled out his blade, and they started fighting. But Zabuza, having such a big and powerful blade, almost had the upper hand on Naruto. And not only that, but Zabuza was water walking, while Naruto was just trying to stay in the shallower parts so that he wouldn't, end up getting stuck inside the water. And Zabuza decided to use this to his advantage, as he went all the way to where the water got a lot deeper, to the depth where Naruto would be fully submerged underwater if he were to come. After Naruto saw what Zabuza was trying to do, the only thing that happened was a slight grin on his face, as he said, "If that's how you want to play, then so be it," as he jumped into the water with all his might, trying to pull Zabuza down into the water with him. And although he didn't succeed completely, he made Zabuza lose his balance, and it's kind of try to swim in the water, because Naruto didn't manage to pull him down completely underneath the water, but he wasn't like Zabuza wasn't water walking anymore either. So this Naruto was like, okay, well, it's now or never. Wow. It's now or never. As he said, sixth form, whirlpool. And the name of the sixth form should make it pretty obvious what it does. It's basically like a huge whirlpool that literally cuts everything that gets in its way. It's just an insanely OP form. Well, it's actually really OP, but it's actually also really balanced because you can only use it underwater from what I know. So yeah. But this move basically rips Zabuza to shreds, and it doesn't necessarily kill him, but it knocks him out, and it basically like flings him out of the water, knocking him into a tree. And after that, Haku ends up coming, pretending to kill Zabuza and saying he is a tracking nin or whatever it's called, and taking Zabuza away. And after this, Kakashi doesn't pass out because he didn't overuse his Sharingan. The only thing he did was watch as Naruto destroyed a Jonin level ninja, just like easily without a scratch, bro. That like he's like, yo, Naruto is OP, but yeah. After that, they all went over to Tazuna's house. But to be honest, this episode has been already going on for quite a little bit for already. So what I'm gonna do is, now that they're at Tazuna's house, actually no, basically after they did the whole the tree walking exercise, Kakashi wakes up. Kakashi never passes out because he doesn't have to wake up. But they do their whole tree walking exercise, and they're about to go to the bridge to help Tazuna build the bridge. But that is where I'm going to end off this episode. And if you want to see the next episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see Kakashi have a breathing style. If so, what it should be. But with that, I'll see you guys next time.